Hello nerds and welcome to 4 Nerds Gaming. My name is Qeelin, and today on Qeelin's Construction we got a big project. I want to show you real quick the result of the slime farm. You may have seen that in the last episode. If you haven't, go check it out. But this is just probably a couple hours of me just not even being in here, but just like running around my place doing the work and stuff. Look at that. So it's working. I got plenty of slime now. So yeah, just made a little item elevator up to here. Blame all. Okay, but today we are doing some work on I found a zombie dungeon. I really wish it would have been a skeleton dungeon, but it's a zombie dungeon. So let me grab, okay, I don't need anything here. So we're gonna go out there. It's not too far away. I already dug a staircase up to the surface. I got a place marked here where I'm gonna put a road in. See here, starting from over there, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go this way. See that pillar over there? That's it. So it's not too far down from the surface. I guess it's pretty far from the surface, but made a little jog to go around here. Okay, now here it is. Now this, I went ahead and cleared everything out, and I've got it kind of prepped to make this build a little easier. But so all this is basically is I cleared out all the cobble and one block beyond that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And I cut out this little area here because I'm going to put water in that corner and that corner. You'll see here in a minute when I get it all ready to go. I shall do that before no, I won't. Never mind. Forget it. Forget I said that. I am going to... the water will run down here to the edge and fall off, which will create another point where it will go farther, and all the water will gather in this point, and the zombies are going to fall down right here. It looks like something is... Anyway, we'll figure that out in a minute. And I want to show you, I found this design. I'm going to put a link in the description for this design, but I have never seen a mob softener, which is kind of what you call a device that will damage a mob to the point where you can punch them by hand and get the XP for them, right? I've never seen one that was this principle, and it is such a cool idea. Okay, yeah, this half slab here is in the wrong spot. So I've already built it once, and I went in and tore all the redstone out, so it'll make it easier for me to build it, and I can kind of, you know, I won't have to constantly be going, did I put that in the right spot, or I don't know where to, anyway. So they fall down into this area here. There's going to be a glass cylinder here so I can look up and see them. And we'll start building it from here. So what you can do is, I got this fence, wall, sorry, stone wall, cobblestone wall here, which, as you know how walls and fences work, they're actually 1.5 blocks tall, so you can't jump over them. See? So zombies are not going to be able to jump out. They're going to be standing on... Let me grab my materials. I'm yammering on about this. I haven't got all my stuff here ready to go. I don't need that. I need that, and my glass, and that, and that's about it. Okay, so they are going to stand on top of a hopper so that it'll gather all the goodies that they drop. So I'm going to put a hopper right here to start with. Actually, I'm going to put a block here just temporarily so I can put this hopper where it belongs. Hopper. So they can't fall down. They're going to land on that, and they can't get... There's going to be glass all around it. They won't be able to get out. So I'll walk up on this, and this will activate the system that I'll show you here in a minute that will block off from any more zombies coming down. It will it'll have a block here. This block will be pushed over. In this section, there's going to be lava, and the one below is going to be a half slab that will lock them in. So the principle is whenever you punch a mob, they have a natural ability to get knocked up into the air. They like jump. So since they're standing underneath a half slab with the lava above it, they get knocked upwards into the lava. And because I struck them by hand, even though they died by lava next, the game counts that as my XP. So the great thing about this is it does not matter if they're wearing full armor. It doesn't matter if they have a little bit of health or a lot of health, or it makes no difference. It doesn't matter, no different what their health is, because the lava is actually what kills them. So, and you know how lava is, it can kill anything really, really fast. So all I do is hit them one time, they jump up out of the way so I can hit the next mob. And I'll demonstrate it obviously when I get through here, but I just think it's the greatest idea, because in the good old days of Minecraft, all zombies had the same health, there were no mini zombies, and there was no armor. So you could do a design that would drop them from a specific height, or have a lava block, pop in and damage them all, and they would bring them down to like a heart or half a heart, and then you just punch them all and kill them. But that is no longer the case in the game because of all the different amounts of armament and health and all that stuff. So I also have a solution for mini Zs. I'm going to add something in here on the side that's going to destroy the mini zombies. They will not work the same way. You can't punch them up into 2 blocks to get into the lava. So, okay, there's just enough yammering on. I want to get on here and start building. So, let's get some redstone and some repeaters. So, that pressure plate's right above this block. So, when they stand on the pressure plate, it's going to make this redstone here active. I'll put a couple of repeaters in with delay to kind of time things out to where it's going to work. It's going to go down to a sticky piston. I'm probably going to need that at some point, so see if I can put this guy in. Yeah, here we go. This is going to create a monostable circuit, which a pulse shortener is, I guess, another word for it, which will put as a pressure plate, I'm standing on the pressure plate, it will light this up, and it'll split off. I'm going to put some redstone here, and this other part's going to create a single tick pulse, because the repeater is going to light up this, turn this torch on. I mean, this my gosh, I cannot talk for nothing. Okay, so it's going to turn on the piston, and right before this block is raised up, it will send out a simple pulse, a 1 tick pulse into here, which is going to do something else for us. Am I stuck in here? I am so stuck in here. Seriously. Am I really stuck in here? Okay. Let's get okay, so that signal's going to go up to here, to this torch. Need a torch. Put torch here. And redstone here, and it's going to travel up this little, I know I couldn't make that jump. This little half slab guy is a way to easily step redstone upwards to the top. So up here is going to be where the mechanisms are. So, bam to bam. Here and here. And this guy's going away as well, I think. Okay, so up here we're going to have a couple of pistons. We're going to have, let's see, right where this guy drops. I'm going to have to build me something out here so I can stand on this real quick. Do I not have any cobble? Seriously. Okay, so let me put a block here. This is where a piston goes. There, and then one down. I did have a block there. That was right to begin with. And then one down below that. Put that block here again. And a sticky piston there. And then a half slab goes on this guy. Let's see if I got that built right. Yeah. I think so. And then here's going to go a dispenser. That's where the lava bucket's going to go. Get rid of this guy here. Okay, and we'll have redstone in. Let's see, we'll have a torch in here. little dab of redstone there. That extends both those guys out. Then we've got redstone here and here. Yep, that brings them back. Okay. And then I think that is it for this side over here. Okay, so basically the way this works is when you stand on that thing, it splits off into two ways. One of them is going to turn on the pistons and extend them out and make them stay out. The other is going to do going to extend the, going to make the lava pop out. See if it'll work. Okay, yeah. So you hear the click. So this is going to have, like I said, a cylinder of rock on each side and the front covered with glass, so I can see up in there, you know. So the purpose of that block is to prevent them from swimming up through the lava and continuing to go up, which will make their drops, you know, burn up in the lava. It also serves a purpose where no more mobs can come down because they would fall into the lava and I wouldn't get XP for them. So it blocks everybody else off up there. And then this half slab is going to be right in their head, which will not... See, this is a block and a half, so it'll kind of hold them down, and they won't suffocate in that half slab. So as I punch a guy, he will go through this block up into this area, and he'll burn up. But because I hit him, like I said, it drops CXP, and his items will fall into the hopper. And I'm gonna put a hopper chest here and a chest here and stuff. So anyway. But for the mini zombies, they stay here and they won't die until you just have to punch them by hand. So I modified this a little bit from the original design. I added another dispenser here with a button on the side. I'll tell you something interesting about the button here too that I figured out the hard way. Do another little, this is going to make a two pulse thing here. So when you hit the button, you will get a 1 tick pulse and then a pulse after that again. So we're going to do that. Another piston here. A repeater that did not work. And then a repeater into this block. Redstone guys here. So now what happened is, as you push this button, it turns off this torch and send a signal out here, which will turn into a 1 tick pulse, which will quickly put redstone in this block, which will activate the thing. So it gets activated one time real quick, and then when this button goes away, which I think these guys run for like, I don't know, a second or second and a half, something like that. And when it turns back off, it will allow this torch to come on, which will do the second pulse. So I'll just demonstrate that for you real quick. You should be able to hear 2 clicks. Click, click. Hear that? First click is right there. Second click is torch coming back on. So it's just like a little simple design. What's really weird about that is that I wanted this button to be right here. So when I'm standing up here, I can just like, I don't have to leave this. I can just turn and click. Now, it's not that this is that much further, but it's just, you know, a button right there is so much handier. But because that button is sitting adjacent to this right here, it will only do a 1 tick. And I think it's probably because it's in this block area that it's somehow activating that. And I didn't know that was a feature in the game. So if you do this and watch, it actually only does 1 click. It clicks the... I think it's because this is on. Well, you think... I don't know. I really don't get why it does that. Probably because this is activated already. So it's like swapping off this. These two guys change places where this is putting off a signal and this one goes away. So it never really actually lets go of a signal. And then so the one that goes behind here, you see the quick pulse, doesn't actually activate anything because it's already got redstone signal on it. So that's just a weird thing. I had trouble figuring out why won't it work on that side, but there it will. Okay, so let's break this guy out. I've got a couple of chests here. I'm going to put them right here. And then another hopper here. This is also another part of the design he didn't have. He just had this where you just walk up and pick up the drops. But if you're standing back here this far away, the drops will get pulled into this before they will actually go into your inventory. So you don't get completely full of mob drops within a few seconds. So let's put in the glass. close this guy up and we'll turn on the spawner and test her out. Bam, bam, bam. There. And then here. And then in the front. Just to there. Now I gotta be able to get into that area to put that lava in. Where's my other lava bucket? Did I not get it? Ah, there it is. You sure don't want to put the lava in this thing until you're done. Because when you're adding torches and stuff, it makes these things click and you'll have lava all over the place. This one right here, because this does 2 clicks, it will put out the lava and then pull it back in before it has a chance to flow anywhere. This half a slab will not stop it from flowing. It will run out and burn up everything. Run down here and break your redstone. It just burns it up. It doesn't even break it. So I'll put this guy in here. See if I can get over to this one. Yeah. All right, now we'll do a little test here. Cross your fingers. So when I walk, so all the mobs are sitting in there. I walk up to it. Yep. Dispenses the lava. Traps them in there. All I gotta do is just punch them. Boom, 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 boom. And then when the baby Z's are there, hit that button. It burns them, and while they're burning, I can hit them. And when they die, it should, register that I hit them. This is not a perfect design, but it's better than standing here with a sword and killing them. I figured that doing a little lava damage will speed up the process a little bit. And you don't get that many baby zombies. I mean, I don't know what the drop or the spawn rate for them is. It's pretty low compared to everyone else. So, I mean, I've done some tests with like, I don't know, 20 to 50 mobs at once with just putting them with spawn eggs in my creative world, and I would get 1 or 2 baby zombies. So, but you know, it's just a chance you get. When I find a skeleton dungeon, it'll be so much better with them because I don't have to deal with any of that garbage. Okay, here comes the tricky part. I've got to knock all these torches out, put these buckets in the corner, and get out of here before I start getting attacked by zombies. So, let's knock these out over here real quick. I don't want them to get too crazy spawning here yet. Alright, put that there and that there. Oh, he's already spawned. Hey dude, what's up? Going right on by. Yeah, there you go. And a couple here. Let me jump over this. Ooh, that would have been bad. And he does take a little bit of damage when he falls in, but it doesn't matter. In this system, it does not matter how much damage he takes. I'm going to close this guy all the way in if I had any deadgum cobble. I'm going to beautify this area a little bit better. I know it looks like garbage right now, but I will improve it. I'm more over function over design at this point. Uh-oh. What have I done? I better not wash my... It is. It's going to wash all my dang redstone away. Did it? Did it? Did it? It may not have. No. We're safe. We're good. Everything's great. All right. Okay. I'm going to just couple these guys build up in here. Not very many, and then I'll demonstrate real fast for you. That's why I had my... You may have seen on my MHC episode, I had my mob sounds turned down because of this right here. Testing, these guys get to be completely crazy loud. Yeah, just keep on dropping in, fellas. When I first saw this video, I didn't believe that this was going to be a thing anymore. I thought, this is not going to work. This is a total... messed up design. It's poor design, but I'm impressed, and I will give the guy credit. Look down in the description, you'll find the link to the video. All right, let's try it out. Step over it. They get bumped forward, like I said, a little bit, and all I gotta do is one point. See, you even got this guy here has boots on. He probably has a little bit more protection and a little more, not health, but you know, more protection than the rest of them. But watch what happens when I click on him. They go up into the lava, and they die. And what's that right there? Experience. So all I can do is just that fast. Look at that. And here comes all the XP. I am so impressed by this design. This is incredibly good. So yeah, no baby Z's yet. Now when I move off of this, you get sucked back in. All the ones that were waiting in line can flow in. Nobody dies. No waste. Very efficient. Awesome. I love this design. So I'm gonna go AFK here just for a few minutes and set this thing on a time lapse you can watch, and we'll see how fast they build up and see how fast I can get to level 30. If I can do some enchanting, because I am so ready to get some better tools. Because I tell you a little secret, real quick. In all the years I've been playing Minecraft, I have not yet ever had a silk touch pick. I know even with all the modded Minecraft, I guess that really doesn't count. You know, I've had things that are, you can enchant stuff, or not necessarily enchant it, but you can have abilities on picks and stuff with Tinker's Construct and all that make it a lot easier. But a legitimate game of vanilla Minecraft where you know, even with the old enchanting system, which is probably even harder than it is now, I've never had anything with silk touch on it, and my goal is to finally get a silk touch pick. I know it seems like really simple to most people, but I am, you know, it's important to me. So, all right, I'm going to turn on F1 here and let you watch about 30 seconds of this, so enjoy. Okay, guys, that was probably around, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if I can see how many entities we have in here. It says 84, 83, 85, somewhere around 80 probably, because that's some of these other items in here, objects in here count towards entities. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see how much XP I can get for this. Bam, bam, bam. I'll show you. I'm sure there's some baby zombies in here. I'll show you how I'm going to dispatch with them. May end up having to hit that button several times in order to get rid of all of them, but it's better than, you know, using your weapon on them. See, those guys, even they can't get out because that half a block right there. And that's all of them. So only, I don't know, what, 8 or 10 guys probably. We'll do this. Start punching them while they're burning up, and hopefully we'll get the XP when they die. Oh, did I just get hit? Oh, how'd you get out? What the heck's going on? I don't understand what just happened here. I've tested this thing in creative like 50 times. These guys are fighting to get to the door. Oh man, and my thing breaks, of course. I have nothing else on me. Oh my gosh. Got an axe, don't I? Yes. I am very confused about how they got out. I'm just gonna get rid of all those guys. I am very... Maybe because of this back here. I want to block all this in, of course. That was weird. I have never had them get out at all. Well, that was about, like I said, only like 80 mobs. Chicken jockey. And 80 mobs got me, you know, I was like, what, level, when I first started this thing, I think I was at level 2. And I'm at 19 now, so you can see just standing over here, like, you know, it's not exactly the best XP farm in the game. Obviously, an Enderman farm or a blaze farm will get you way more XP way faster. But this level of the game, this is what I've got. Eventually, I probably will build either one or the other of those two farms to get a lot of XP. I don't know which one yet. Whichever one's probably the easiest to build, probably. And there's some torches I dropped out earlier. One piece of iron, so that's not bad. See, it's not a lot of stuff that I want to get from these guys. I'm really looking forward to what I'm going to get from skeletons, because one of the next projects I'm building is probably the very next one I'm going to build is going to be a tree farm. I've got one already mocked up in my creative world, and it just I needed some stick. I needed a lot of slimes before I could do that. Not a lot. It didn't take a whole lot of sticky pistons. It only takes like 10 or 12. It takes a whole lot of pistons in general. So I am going to need a lot of iron and stuff for that. But that design, it uses a dispenser to dispense to put out bone meal to make the trees go fast, and you need lots of bone meal for that. And I've got what I've collected by hand, but I need a farm of some sort. So I may end up, if I don't find a zombie farm, a skeleton dungeon pretty soon, I probably will build a mob farm first. That will just give me all kinds of drops from all the guys. So let me tell you a couple quick pointers about this that you want to keep in mind, and then that'll be it for today, guys. First of all, the way the game works probably would help a little bit with spawning if I close this guy up. I gathered the cobble, never did it. This spawner will only continue to spawn zombies as long as there are less than a certain amount within so many blocks of this the spawner. So that's the purpose. One of the purposes of building this thing right here is so that it will move them away from the spawner, because if they're this far away, this is probably the minimum I'd ever want to get to this spawner. And it counts up and down counts. Z and Y both count. I'm sorry, X and Y. X and Z. Vertical and horizontal. Whatever you want to put it. If you built this thing really close, like within, I don't know, 8 blocks of this thing, then they would, once the game counts that many zombies are in the vicinity, it will stop the spawner from working, so it will not overload the game. So that's the purpose of moving away from here. Also, you want to put, you notice, I didn't mention it, but you noticed that above the spawner I have blocks up to the ceiling. That is to prevent zombies from spawning on top of it and standing there. Maybe that's how they got out, right there. I didn't close this up. Very possible. That light going in there will also hinder the spawning a little bit. You want it total dark in there, so because they only spawn within a certain light level. Let's see, what else? I think that may just about do it for the tips and pointers here. Like I said, I'm going to go in here and block up all the corners around here so there's no chance of them getting out. Oh, a server situation. If you are on a server, be cautious with this, because like any other mob spawner that gathers lots of mobs, it will really take a toll on a server if you haven't got one that has a lot of beef to it. And so if make sure and ask your server administrator or whoever's in charge of it before you do things like this, because it can really totally destroy the game for other people. If you go AFK here for, I don't know, overnight, and there's 1,000 zombies in here by morning, it can crash the server. It can bring it down to where you get like 1 frame a second. So that can be really dangerous. Just be cautious with that, with any spawner. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and check out the link to the other channel that I got this from, and build one for yourself and let me know how it turns out, because hey, there's a baby zombie villager. I hadn't seen one of those. I want to see if I can get experience from these guys here while they're burning up. And I gotta hit them again. And I did. So yeah, that's kind of a pain. I probably want to do that with a sword. Oh. There's how they got out. At least the babies. Yeah, when I box all in and up there, they won't be able to get out that way. It's that piston moving back. When that piston moves back because they're up in that area above it, they're falling down through the gaps. So my dog's barking. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe. Comment on my loud, annoying dog. Tell your friends. And we'll see you next time on Foreigners Gaming. Bye!